welcome back. Today's video is going to be a collaboration video with Trini Cooking with Natasha. We're going to do a bread and chana recipe. And I'm going to do mine similar to how Nick's Cafe in Charlieville does his. I mean, I don't know how they make it, but I'm going to assume because that's one of the best bread and chanas I've ever eaten in my life. And I've been eating by them since I was very young. So they've been open quite a while. So if you live in the central area, you know which cafe I'm talking about. It's in Charlieville. So their bread and chana is epic. It's the best bread and chana I've ever tasted. And the best part of that bread and chana for me is that thick piece of market cheese that you get on top. I think that just makes the sandwich 10 times better. And they top it up with their own pepper sauce, and let me just tell you, it's amazing. So if you guys have never had Nick's bread and chana, go check it out. So they also have bread and chow mein and bread and chicken, and I'm going to be doing that in the future. I'm going to do bread and chow mein for you guys in the next video. So stay tuned for that one. And I'm going to show you guys how to make the hops bread that goes with the chana and the chow mein. So I hope you guys enjoy this recipe. If you want to see how I do this, then keep watching. And be sure to go check out Natasha's video. I will have the link for it down below in the description box, so go check it out. So if you guys want to see how I do this recipe, keep watching. So the first thing we're going to do for this recipe is to make the hops. So I'm just going to show you a very quick demonstration of making the hops. I'll do a more detailed video for you guys, but I'm just going to show you quickly how I make the hops, and then we'll move on to the chana. So the first thing I'm going to do is mix the dough, and I'm going to add the salt, the sugar, and the yeast. And you just want to give that a quick stir. So the second step now is I'm gonna add my milk to my water. I'm gonna heat this up in the microwave for about a minute and 15 seconds. And then I'm gonna add the butter to it, let that melt, and we'll add it to our flour. Okay, so once your butter is melted completely in that milk and water mixture, you're going to add it to your flour. I'm just going to add half. And I'm also going to add some organic coconut oil. So now you're going to put it on medium high and just let it mix. Now add the rest of your liquid and leave it on medium for about 5 minutes. Okay, so it's been 5 minutes. And as you can see, the dough is very nice and soft, but it's not too soft, yet it's not hard. So this is the consistency that you're looking for. And the 5-minute mixing is to really develop the gluten in the dough to get a really nice hops bread. So these are all the ingredients you're going to need to make the chana filling for the hops bread. So I have some chana here that I soaked overnight. All the exact measurements and stuff will be in the description box below, and I'll have the measurements for the hops bread as well. As I said, I'm going to do that in our next video, a more detailed version, because this is just a quick thing. So I'll show you guys how to do it step by step in our next video. So I boiled the chana until it's really nice and soft. I boiled it with some baking soda and some salt, And I don't know if I mentioned, but I soaked it overnight in some water, some baking powder, and some baking soda. I have some green seasoning. I'm gonna season this chana up with the green seasoning. I have cheese, and the important thing about this cheese, well, to make the bread and chana that I like, which is Nick's bread and chana, he uses market cheese. And market cheese is Trinidad cheese or New Zealand cheddar, which is fully at room temperature. It's the cheese that's sold in the market. That's what Nick uses in his bread and chana, and it's so yummy. He puts like a really thick slice of cheese, and when I mean thick, it's really thick. He does not skimp on the cheese when you buy bread and chana. I have some onion, some chopped bandhania or culantro or shadow beni. We're gonna do a very light curry. For Nick's bread and chana, they don't heavily curry their chana. Their bread and chana has such a distinct taste, and I have never tasted a better bread and chana. So I'm gonna try to recreate their bread and chana. So I have a very small amount of curry, some turmeric or saffron, some homemade ground masala, black masala, and some homemade ground roasted jeera. I also have some more jeera here. That's what we're gonna finish it up with. And to chunk it, I have some garlic, pepper, and some chopped shadow beni again. And you'll just need some salt to taste. So to season up the chana now, I'm just gonna add like half or 3/4 of this green seasoning I have. And I'm also gonna add a little bit of salt. To your pot, just add a little bit of oil, and you're gonna add the onion in and just let that fry up. After a minute, you'll get that nice translucent color, and you want to add your pepper, garlic, and shadow beni or culantro or bandhania. After about 30 seconds now, I just lowered my heat a little, and I'm gonna add the curry, turmeric or saffron, the jeera, and the masala. As you can see, it's a very small amount, like I said, because their chana does not have a very heavy taste, well, a heavy curry taste. It's mild, but it's perfect. It's a perfect amount of curry. Just let that kind of fry for about a minute, and then we'll add a little bit of water. So after a minute, you want to add some water. And you're going to let this reduce again, and then we will add the chana in about 2 to 3 minutes. So after about 3 minutes, you'll notice that it's reduced a lot, the liquid that was in there. And for this, I don't like to dry down the curry too much. So I'm going to add the chana in at this stage. So you want to get that chana nice and mixed into the curry. And because this is boiled already, it's not going to take too long to cook. So I'm going to add about a cup of hot water. I think it could take a little bit more. Now you want to cover it and let it cook for about 10 minutes, and then it should be finished by that time. So after 5 minutes of boiling with the cover on, I took the cover off, and I'm gonna leave it to let that water reduce and to make a nice thick sauce. So at this point, I'm gonna add a little bit of the jeera, the extra jeera I had, and I'm gonna add the rest of the chopped shadow beni or bandhania. I'm not gonna add the reserved green seasoning because I think it has enough seasoning right now. I'm not gonna try to overpower it with seasoning. So just leave this for the next 5 to 10 minutes, and it should be good by that point. But keep in mind that you do want a little bit of sauce, because as it cools down, it's going to thicken up as well. So you do want a little bit of sauce, but not excess sauce where it's going to make a mess in your hops bread, because this is going to go inside the hops and you want it to stay in there and not leak out while you're eating it. So just keep that in mind. So it's been about 5 minutes. It's thickening up nicely now. The liquid is reducing a lot. So I think this is perfect. I'm going to turn it off. And I'm just going to let it cool a little bit and let that sauce thicken up more. So when I put it into the bread, it's not going to create a mess. So now we're going to assemble the bread and chana. The first thing we're going to do is cut the hops bread open, or you could just pull it apart. It's really nice and soft on the inside. I'm not sure if they make their own hops there or if they order it from a bakery. Now I'm gonna fill it with the chana. And anytime you buy there, the chana is always warm and nice. So when you put the cheese on top, it's so yummy. The cheese just automatically starts to melt. Okay, so I'm actually not gonna put this big piece. I'll just put a smaller piece. So this is how they serve it to you at Nick's. And they just wrap it in the paper and they give it to you in a brown bag. So I hope you guys enjoyed this really yummy recipe. To those that know about Nick's bread and chana, leave your comments down below. I know you guys love it as much as I do. That's one of the most famous places in Central for bread and chana. It's so yummy. So you guys have to go check it out. It's in Charlieville. So I hope you guys enjoyed this recipe. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, subscribe to see all the latest videos. And leave me all your comments down below. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!